differences I had with the producers of the show was that I felt too much emphasis was being put on JJ and his chicken hat and saying dynamite every third page.
John Amos not only left his mark with outstanding roles, but also carried with him little-known secrets about his final days. While the whole world remembers him, John Amos's daughter has just revealed dark secrets about his final days. What are these secrets? Will it expose the face of John Amos? Let's find out. Take your time, because the story of John Amos is full of twists and turns, worthy of any TV show storyline. John Amos, who was born on December 27, 1939, in Newark, New Jersey, did not begin his career as a movie star until he was quite young. Instead, he began to acquire a strong interest in athletics at a very young age himself. By the time he was a teenager, Amos had already demonstrated remarkable skill in athletics, particularly football. Why did he decide to pursue a career in acting instead of pursuing his passion for sports? Let's investigate this fascinating and excruciating adventure together. The early years of John Amos's life were spent in a family that had a diverse cultural heritage. It was his mother who was a teacher, and his father who worked as a laborer. Both of these individuals had a significant impact on the formation of his personality. While Amos was still in his younger years, he was exposed to a setting that was not just full of love, but also full of challenges. Amos grew up in a neighborhood that was rich in cultural diversity, and as a result, he was exposed to a wide variety of civilizations and ways of life. It was in this area that he was able to develop his principles of community and solidarity. Beginning at a young age, he had a passion for both athletics and the arts. During his time at school, he was an active participant in a variety of athletic activities, and he eventually became one of the most talented players on the high school football team. Not only was he a skilled player, but he was also a remarkable leader who showed a great deal of ability and commitment. When Amos was chosen to participate on the school's football team, he was allowed to play the position of running back. His contribution to the team's success in several significant regional competitions is one of his most outstanding accomplishments. He was able to get an athletic scholarship to attend Colorado State University as a result of his exceptional football abilities, which not only helped him stand out to coaches, but also enabled him to receive the scholarship. Amos's subsequent athletic career, which culminated in him playing for the Denver Broncos in the National Football League in 1964, was built on a solid foundation that was set by his physical skill and achievements during his time in high school. The early years of John Amos's life were spent in a family that had a diverse cultural heritage. It was his mother who was a teacher, and his father who worked as a laborer. Both of these individuals had a significant impact on the formation of his personality. While Amos was still in his younger years, he was exposed to a setting that was not just full of love, but also full of challenges. Amos grew up in a neighborhood that was rich in cultural diversity, and as a result, he was exposed to a wide variety of civilizations and ways of life. It was in this area that he was able to develop his principles of community and solidarity. Beginning at a young age, he had a passion for both athletics and the arts. During his time at school, he was an active participant in a variety of athletic activities, and he eventually became one of the most talented players on the high school football team. Not only was he a skilled player, but he was also a remarkable leader who showed a great deal of ability and commitment. When Amos was chosen to participate on the school's football team, he was allowed to play the position of running back. It is one of his most prominent accomplishments that he was able to assist his squad in achieving several significant victories in regional competitions. The exceptional football skills that he possessed not only helped him to stand out in the eyes of coaches, but also made it possible for him to be awarded an athletic scholarship to attend Colorado State University. In 1964, Amos was allowed to play for the Denver Broncos of the National Football League, NFL, as a result of his great athletic performance and accomplishments during his time at the high school level. This provided a solid basis for Amos's later sports career. When John Amos was playing for the Denver Broncos in the National Football League in 1964, he had the potential to make his name known throughout the history of football. This marked a significant milestone in his athletic career, particularly because the league had garnered a great deal of attention and had emerged as one of the most successful sports leagues in the United States. Amos's football career, on the other hand, did not proceed as easily as he had anticipated it would. There were a number of major injuries that John Amos sustained throughout his football career, particularly to his legs and knees, despite the fact that he was talented and determined. Because he was frequently subjected to pressure and powerful collisions from other players, he frequently sustained these injuries while participating in training or matches. In addition to this, the fact that he was constantly switching clubs in the National Football League made his career unpredictable. He was able to play for a few different clubs for brief periods of time, but he was never able to remain with a single squad for an extended period of time. Amos was unable to continue a sports career that would be sustainable due to the multitude of injuries he had, and the fact that his club was always changing. Amos made the decision to alter his life path after coming to the realization that his athletic career would not be able to be maintained owing to external reasons such as injuries and issues involving the team. His choice to follow his passion for acting, which would eventually lead to a great deal of success in the entertainment world, occurred when he decided to abandon his football boots and pursue his passion. John Amos had the impression that he had discovered his calling when he first started his career in the theater. Because I like doing performances in front of an audience, I found that theater was a natural fit for me. The individual added, I believe that I had a strong instinct for performance. When he was younger, he had a strong recall, which was of great use to him when it came to remembering writing screenplays. On the other hand, as time went on, his memory started to degrade as he was getting older. However, it wasn't long before Hollywood became aware of his stunning good looks, commanding presence, and extraordinary talent. In 1970, Amos was given a recurring part on The Mary Tyler Moore Show, in which he played the character of weatherman Gordie Howard. This was the moment that Amos broke through in his career. This part presented him with an opportunity that was previously unavailable to him since, at the time, it was still fairly uncommon to see black actors playing prominent roles on major television series. However, it wasn't until 1974 that John Amos was cast in the part that would forever alter his life and career. James Evans, Sr. on the television show Good Times. Through his performance in the part, Amos was shown as a straightforward, hard-working father who was deeply committed to his family. After it became public knowledge that he had made an audition for the part, he received a phone call in which he was requested to come in for a reading of the script. It was Esther Rolle who was chosen to play the role of Florida Evans, and the two of them brought the program to life, so establishing one of the most cherished married couples in the history of American television. Not only did John Amos earn a job when he was cast as James Evans, Sr., but he also established a powerful and affectionate picture in the minds of the audience members. He remembers the critical moment when Esther Rolle, who played his wife on Good Times, turned to producer Norman Lear and stated, "That's my husband." He then went on to reflect on the significance of that moment. For Amos, that one simple comment marked the beginning of a new chapter in his career, catapulting him from the status of an unknown actor to that of a growing celebrity. He became a role model for a great number of American families as a result of his portrayal as James Evans. Throughout each week, people tuned in to observe the lives of the Evans family. Amos displayed his capacity to mix humor and resiliency, in addition to his love for his wife and children. The narrative of James, a parent who is kind and loving, moved the hearts of a great number of viewers, assisting them in developing empathy for the difficulties and problems that life presents. Nevertheless, the actions that take place behind the camera are not always as positive as what the audience sees. Few people are aware of the struggles and difficulties that occur behind the scenes of achievement. Now is the time to talk about the more delicate parts of John Amos's life, particularly his tragic death, which has generated a great deal of debate in the media and among his devoted followers. What exactly takes place here? Even though audiences adored John Amos' performance as James Evans Sr., the things that took place behind the scenes were far more problematic. There were significant differences of opinion between Amos and the producers of the program on the path that the series intends to take. Amos desired for the Happy Times to be more focused on the severe problems that African American families are confronted with. There was a conflict between John Amos and the authors of Good Times over how a black family should be portrayed on TV. He believed that he had a greater knowledge of the reality of being a black parent and how a family of this kind ought to work, which was something that the authors, all of whom were not black, did not realize. They had to come to terms with the fact that Amos had more experience and comprehension in the end, even though the lengthy argument resulted in some emotional exchanges. While the producers tended to favor lighter and more humorous scripts, especially around the character J.J. Evans, played by Jimmy Walker, Amos felt overlooked. Although J.J.'s "dynamite" became a famous catchphrase, Amos was unhappy that his character did not receive the attention he deserved. He believed that the story could use more of the other children in the family and the comedy they could provide. Amos's strong opinions on the matter led to serious tensions with the producers. Eventually, in 1976, he was written off the show. Norman Lear, the creator of Good Times, called Amos during the mid-season break and gave him the good news that the show had been renewed for another year. But the bad news was that he would no longer be a part of it. They decided to have James Evans, Sr.'s character, die in a car accident. It was a shocking and dramatic decision. However, Amos's departure from Good Times was not the end of his career. On the contrary, he found many new opportunities and continued to develop his acting career after leaving the show. How and in what way? Let's see. When Roots was being produced, the producers and writers were looking for actors who could portray characters with depth and emotion. Amos auditioned and immediately impressed the producers with his genuine and intense performance. In addition, director Marvin J. Chomsky and other producers saw Amos's commitment to the role and the importance of the story Roots wanted to tell. They decided to cast Amos as Kunta Kinte. In 1977, John Amos made his mark in one of the most iconic television miniseries of all time, Roots. His portrayal of an older Kunta Kinte in the adaptation of Alex Haley's popular novel not only brought him critical acclaim, but also cemented his place in American television history. Roots became a cultural phenomenon, bringing the horrors of slavery to the forefront of American television in a way that had never been done before. Amos's powerful and poignant performance touched the hearts of audiences around the world. In Mandinka folklore, there is a belief that if you keep the dust from someone's footprints, they will one day return. Kunta Kinte's story, from the heartbreak of being kidnapped to his desire for freedom, made a lasting impression and left a lasting legacy. The role also earned him an Emmy nomination, marking a pivotal moment in his career. The role of Kunta Kinte became one of Amos's defining roles, proving that he was more than just a one-off. He brought drama, intensity, and heart to a character, cementing his place as one of the great actors in television history. But wait, No celebrity life is without a little family drama, right? John Amos is no exception. Despite his success on screen, his personal life hasn't always been smooth sailing. John Amos has been through 3 marriages and has 2 children. John Amos had 3 marriages during his life. His first marriage was to a woman named Anne, but they divorced. John Amos's first marriage to Anne produced a daughter, but details about their children are not publicly available. John Amos's second marriage was to his black fiancée, a woman named Dee Dee. They married in 1978 and had a daughter named Shannon Amos. This marriage lasted for a while before the couple decided to divorce. Although their relationship ended, John and Dee Dee remained on good terms to raise their children together. Details about this marriage are not publicly available. John Amos's third marriage was to Anika Noni Rose in 1982. However, they had no children together. This marriage also faced challenges and ended after a short time. Although no specific information was given about the reason for the divorce, Amos and Rose continued to focus on their careers after their separation. His family has been through some serious stress lately, especially in 2023, when his son, K.C. Amos, publicly accused his father's caregivers of elder abuse. K.C. has expressed concerns about his father's health and safety, saying he is being threatened by those in charge of his care. K.C. has criticized the staff at the care facility where John Amos lives, saying they are not providing him with the medical care he needs. He also made it clear that John did not want to remain in the facility and felt that he was not being cared for properly. K.C. shared that his father even said, "If I die, I die," reflecting his despair and frustration. Additionally, K.C. accused John's daughter of taking advantage of her father, suggesting that she may have contributed to his deteriorating health. These allegations attracted media attention and sparked a major controversy within the Amos family, highlighting the common problems of elder care and complex family relationships. John Amos's daughter, Shannon Amos, has criticized her brother, K.C. Amos, for his handling of her father's finances and accused him of impersonating him in communications. Shannon claims that K.C. has ignored her father's medical needs and has used his health condition to undermine the family legacy. Shannon has referred to a woman named Belinda Foster, who claims to be her father's legal representative. She claims that there is no contract to show that Belinda is John's representative, and they have never seen any documents signed by him authorizing her. According to Shannon, Belinda lives with John, K.C., and another person named Eugene Brummett. She and her family believe the 3 conspired to take advantage of John, who was diagnosed with Lewy body Alzheimer's disease in 2016, a condition that many believe can cause symptoms such as memory loss and thinking problems. Although Shannon has medical records confirming her father's condition, she said John has recovered and is doing well. She worries that mismanagement and the complex relationships surrounding her father could be undermining his health. Shannon hopes that transparency and protection for her father will be established to ensure his safety and well-being in the remaining years of his life. In the vicinity of the year 2022, John Amos's family had come to the realization that he was no longer capable of taking care of himself. Around this time, his son, K.C. Amos, moved in and started making charges that a caretaker was taking money from him. He accused the caretaker of misappropriating his money. It was said that K.C. had a strong desire for control, which caused several members of the family to express their worries. Additionally, K.C. had suffered from difficulties related to mental health and substance abuse, which was something that the family had previously encountered with their mother. Nevertheless, these concerns were not brought to light since she was not a prominent figure in the public eye. It was necessary for John's uncle, who was the executor of his estate, to rewrite his will on many occasions because K.C. would frequently visit and put pressure on John to sign his paperwork. When the paperwork was being signed, the family was afraid that Casey could have placed his father under the influence of drink or drugs, which would have impaired his judgment. Shannon, who is John's daughter, possesses some copies of the will as well as a declaration that she requested Casey to sign. In the document, Casey acknowledges that he purposefully misled his father into rewriting the will, and he guarantees that he will never do so again without other members of the family present. On the other hand, Casey continues to engage in behaviors that she takes into consideration to be manipulative. Despite the attention these allegations have received, John Amos has denied them and insisted that he is in good health. He thanked his fans for their support and affirmed that he looks forward to continuing to work in the arts. John said that he is grateful to still have the opportunity to live and work, and that he hopes to have a new year filled with laughter, drama, and opportunities that life brings. He emphasized that people should not pay too much attention to the rumors and just focus on the positive. However, the whole thing has left fans wondering what goes on behind closed doors. Are these just misunderstandings, or is there more to the story than we know? Although John Amos has had some troubles in his personal life, he has maintained a fairly clean profile. Throughout his career, there have been no major scandals or accusations that have tarnished his image. Amos has a reputation for being a hardworking and serious person, both on and off screen. Unlike many of his Hollywood peers, he has avoided the legal troubles and public embarrassments that have marred the careers of many actors. However, that doesn't mean he hasn't faced challenges or tough times in his life. Financially, John Amos has been in the entertainment industry for decades and has built a solid career. As of 2024, his net worth is estimated to be around $3 million. While this may seem modest compared to some of today's superstars, it's important to remember that Amos's career spanned a time when actors weren't making millions of dollars per role like they do today. Despite his advanced age, John Amos has remained busy with a variety of projects. He has made notable guest appearances on popular television shows such as 2.5 Men, The West Wing, and Men in Trees. He also recently reprised his role as Cleo McDowell in the sequel to the cult classic Coming to America. His appearances in these projects not only showcased his outstanding acting abilities, but also confirmed that he remains a major figure in the entertainment industry. In 2021, Seconds America will be released. Amos did not exhibit any indications of slowing down, even when he was in his 80s. He continued to demonstrate to the public that he had staying power by continuing to take on acting parts, working behind the scenes on projects, and working on more projects. John Amos has made an indisputable contribution to the world of television and movies, even though he has been involved in disputes, family conflicts, and clashes with producers. He broke down boundaries with his powerful, commanding presence on film, and at the end of the day, that is what people will remember him for. He paved the road for future generations of black performers and broke down barriers. Even though John Amos, a well-known figure in the world of television, passed away on October 1, 2024, his family broke the devastating news to the public. The things that his daughter put on social media have left me speechless, and I do not know what to say in reaction to them. We are sharing the news that my father, John Allen Amos Jr., passed through a transition on August 21st. It is with a great deal of regret that we come to this conclusion. Now that we have learnt about it through the media, just like a great number of you, we are completely and utterly grieved, and we have plenty of questions regarding how something like this could have occurred 45 days ago. There is going to be a request made for an investigation to be conducted. In the state of Colorado, I was contacted by a physician, and the primary care physician who treats my father also initiated communication with me. Because my brother had begun withholding my father's medication after he moved in, they were pretty concerned about the situation. As a result, this suggests that there is a pattern taking place. To his knowledge, he was not administering any medication to himself. In addition to this, my father was given a diagnosis of cancer, and he was on the schedule to receive treatment for the illness. It was never possible to do it. Additionally, that doctor told me that my father would die if he did not take the medication. He said that he would die. I believe that my brother had him cremated as quickly as possible to prevent the family from being able to obtain an autopsy and to prevent law authorities from being able to investigate and find out what happened. It was common knowledge within my family that my father had been diagnosed with congestive heart failure. At one point in his life, he experienced congestive heart failure. We have done all in our power to ensure that he was not getting any kind of hospice care or home care at the time. By utilizing SAG-AFTRA, my father was able to acquire the most comprehensive insurance coverage. Cedars-Sinai was the location that was anticipated to be his location. One of my hypotheses is that they took him to Inglewood Hospital, which is the location where we are aware that they abandoned him. Not only does it defy logic, but it also suggests that there were no medical records available at that particular place. It is common knowledge that Belinda Foster was acting as if she were somebody else, either his daughter or myself. The information that we obtained regarding it came from the hospital. On that subject, my daughter will provide further explanation. Belinda was the one who drove him to the hospital after he passed away, and my brother was not even there when he succumbed to his illness. Nevertheless, it is quite probable that he went away by himself, without any members of his family having been there. At this point, it is fitting that we commemorate and recall his life. It is right that this moment came about. The flip side of the coin is that we are having a difficult time navigating the emotional roller coaster and the ambiguity that surrounds his passing. In spite of everything, the realization that my father is now free gives about a certain degree of peace and tranquility. I would like to express my gratitude to my family and me for the outpouring of love, phone calls, and text messages that we have received. Please continue to keep our family in your prayers and thoughts. Thank you for your consideration. Regarding you, I am thankful. As a result of the death of one of the most outstanding artists who ever graced our screens, people from all over the world are mourning his passing. On the other hand, if there is one thing that can be said with absolute certainty, it is that John Amos will be remembered as one of the most admired and treasured performers in the history of Hollywood. In summary, John Amos's life was marked by moments of darkness, which were mostly caused by personal difficulties and the complexities of his connections with his family. In a nutshell, John Amos's life was marked by times of darkness that were mostly caused by personal difficulties and the complexities of his connections with his family. Throughout his life, John Amos was not only distinguished by his remarkable acting career, but also by the difficult connections he had with his family. In addition to having 2 children, including his son, K.C. Amos, he was married 3 times and had 2 children. In recent years, tensions within the family have escalated, particularly when K.C. made a public accusation of elder abuse against the caretakers who were caring for his father. K.C. said that John's health was in jeopardy due to the negligence of the caregivers, and he accused one of the caregivers of stealing money from him. Not only did these allegations catch the attention of the media, but they also generated a difficult internal struggle inside the family, which added to the stress that was already there. John Amos's health has also been a significant concern throughout his life. The diagnosis of Lewy body Alzheimer's disease, a severe form of dementia, was made about him in the year 2016. Although John has made a remarkable recovery and is now in good health, the diagnosis has caused concern for his family and friends. Dementia-related illnesses can be stressful for both the sufferer and the caregiver, and in John's case, It led to concerns about his ability to care for himself, adding to the strain on family relationships. In addition to his family struggles, John Amos has faced other personal challenges. Throughout his long career, he has gone from starring in iconic TV series like Roots to appearing in popular shows like 2.5 Men and The West Wing. However, the pressures of maintaining a high profile in the entertainment industry are not always easy. This can lead to feelings of loneliness and isolation, especially when personal relationships become strained. On the other hand, John Amos is the kind of guy who has been involved in a wide variety of humanitarian endeavors during his whole career. Not only is he well known for his acting abilities, but he is also well known for his charitable work. He frequently takes part in donation programs and events that benefit the community. The John and Elena Amos Foundation has been responsible for several noteworthy contributions that John Amos has made to the community. During the year 2019, the foundation generously contributed a total of $442,500 to several different organizations. Among these donations, the John B. Amos Cancer Center received $200,000, Pacelli Catholic Schools received $100,000, and Girls Inc. received $100,000. In addition, he has shown his dedication to bettering the lives of others by providing financial assistance to organizations such as Easter Seals, West Georgia, Boys and Girls Clubs of America, and Josh Provides Epilepsy Assist Foundation. In addition to making financial contributions, John Amos is committed to becoming an active participant in a variety of community activities. These activities include the organization of fundraising events, the development of scholarship possibilities for students, and the participation in educational programs that aim to increase awareness of social concerns. He encourages younger people to follow their aspirations and give back to society by urging them to share his expertise and experience with them daily. These efforts not only be of immediate assistance, but also serve to motivate other people. What do you think about this story? Is what John Amos's daughter said true? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. We would love to hear from you. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more interesting updates. Thank you, and see you in the next video.